morning, Pulp Picks, and welcome to another amazing week of Pulp Picks. I'm Corey.
I'm Fritz.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Patrick.
And Patrick can start
I'm
this.
not ready. So this week I picked Amazing Spider-Man number 14. This is the intro into Dark Web, the new Spider event that's going to cross over into X titles and is connected to like Inferno, and I don't know. I wasn't super enthusiastic about the prospect of that, but this book was really interesting. And as we were talking in our meeting before this, it makes a lot of sense for Ben Reilly and Madeline Pryor to kind of get together and commiserate about how terrible their lives are, because they're both clones who, you know, have pretty much just gotten the blank end of the stick all the way along, and that's, you know, they've done things to push back against that, and now people think that they're evil, and so they're going to get what they feel like they've got coming, and everybody else look out. So this issue is pretty much mostly from the perspective of Ben Reilly. It's got 4 seasons in it, and it's all just setting up how he and Pryor meet and start formulating this plan and come to the agreement that they're going to go out and get the people who they were cloned from. So it's interesting. 4 different artists on this book. Gave it kind of a nice flow to these 4 separate little chapters that are happening in there. And I'm not sure about, sorry about that. I'm an important person, so I get calls. About how that's all going to, you know, come together in all the crossover titles and whatever. But I'm much more interested in it as a concept now than I was going into this book. So my plan was pretty much to just read the Amazing Spider-Man title and hope that this didn't monkey too much with making that title fun in the interim, and then just skip all the rest of Dark Web. But no, I'm curious. I'm going to have to check out. So I doubt that I'll pick up all of it, but I'm definitely more interested. Well, yeah, you should pick up 10 copies of it. So, Fritz, what do you have this week?
Speaking of seasons, actually, mine is Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise. Yes, I'm just like, oh no, don't get the title wrong, Fritz. Anyways, it's a new miniseries by Treadmore. He's both doing, you probably know him from his recent Silver Surfer Black series a couple years ago with Donny Cates.
Yes.
This one, he's on art and writing duties. And we see Steven kind of like he's trapped in this, like, we're not exactly sure where it is. Like, is it a different dimension? Is it like some other plane of existence? Like, reality's kind of like morphing around him. Like, weird ghosts are showing up, talking to him about stuff that, like, he's not really sure what they're trying to tell him, if they're trying to be helpful or not. And it's just kind of him like exploring this like weird mystical land. And it's really cool. Like, Moore's art is just always gorgeous, and I honestly, this is contender for me for like best looking book of like the year for Marvel. Like the way he does landscapes and fight scenes and like incorporating sound effects into the background. I don't know, it
reminds me of like it almost reminds me of like the Yellow Submarine cartoon.
Kind of, yeah. Actually, I like the way like the flowing, like how just like shapes kind of like morph into each other. It's just it's so good. Also, I mentioned this in the meeting earlier. I, from now on, only want Steven to be drawn as a long-haired sad boy, because it just, I don't know why, he makes it work really well, and I love it. But no, it's fantastic. The fight scenes at the end especially just really get to, like, there's so much going on, but it's also like, you just want to like pour over every panel to just see like each move, how like it just, it's so good.
That's where I was at in this book, is that you almost get the art is so beautiful and the story is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The art is so beautiful, you find yourself pausing, reading the story, just being sucked into the image.
Mm-hmm.
And because the lines are so wavy and flowy, and everything just kind of, I don't know, melds together in a funky, smoky,
and it'll like
swirly kind of way.
And it can like mess with panel stuff, because like in one, like during the fight, like you'll see like him like shooting off an energy beam from one panel that like basically you see hit at a different point in time in another panel. So like it's like playing with your perspective and like how you see time moving between the moments, and it's just, I don't know, it's super cool. I'm so excited to see where it goes from here. I don't know, I can't say enough good about it. I want more Treadmore stuff.
Yeah, it was gorgeous and an amazing story, and where it stopped was really great.
Yeah, it's like
Loved
it's a perfect cliffhanger for a first issue.
Loved it.
Just fantastic. But over to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Fritz. So today I picked Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. So it's essentially this idea of like an apocalyptic event has occurred. We don't know yet what it was. There's the hinting that there was maybe some illness that was associated with it. But there's only two characters that we meet, Maceo and Esmeralda, and it's a girl and a boy, and the boy is in the tower, and he's like got everything in the world that he would ever need in an apocalypse. He's got like vending machines galore, you know, where he's getting his food. So obviously not the healthiest situation, but like, you know, he's...
It's my dream. House full of vending machines.
But it looks like it must be like an abandoned mall or something. So he's got like, there's vending machines, there's books all over for him to read, there's...
Cinnabon on demand.
Well, I imagine that was an Alan at some point.
No one. Maybe, probably.
But either way, like he has everything he can need, and then he sees this girl show up, and she's like fighting this weird toxic monster, and he ends up opening the door, even though his parents told him he should never open the door. And he lets her in, and so then he is confused because he thinks he's like the only person left, and yet here's another human being, and so he tries to invite her to stay because he's got all this stuff that, you know, whatever you would need to live off of, and she's like, no, I don't want to be caged anymore, and she leaves. Oh. So she tries to trade him like a pelt of rats for food, and he's just like, take whatever you need, and she's like, you would never last in the real world. You should stay here in the tower. But he decides that he doesn't want to be locked in a cage either, so he follows her. And then it ends, at the ending, we jump forward like 10 years. So I'm intrigued. Obviously, there's a lot that happens between him deciding to go find her and where it ends. So I actually really liked this. I think Jason Aaron did a nice job with this story, and I'm intrigued to see where it goes.
His independent stuff is really solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
we
fun.
Give Jason
like,
Aaron a lot of crap on
but I really liked it.
I've liked all of his indie stuff.
Yeah, I think if you like apocalyptic kind of stuff, this is good. It kind of reminded me sort of like of Mad Max in some ways. So if you like either of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But, all right, Corey, what do you have for us this week?
So I picked Creepshow number 3. I'm pretty sure I picked 1 and 2 also. This book is just a ton of fun, and you can just pick it up and read it because it is just 2 separate stories in each issue. And there's like freaky raccoon monsters, and it's so cool.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
I know exactly who I'm pitching this book.
I've been having so much fun reading these Creepshow issues.
We've gotten a lot of feedback from people who have picked it up too, saying that they're really enjoying
I mean,
it.
didn't we sell out of the first issue originally?
Yeah, and then
we
ended
sold
up,
out of the first issue. I reordered more, and then I sold out of those, or we sold out of those.
Yep.
It's just a breath of fresh air, you know, in the world of giant long continuities. Just being able to sit down and read something that doesn't connect to, you know, 80 years of continuity and history and retcons and stuff like that is just really nice. So if you haven't been reading this, we have copies on the shelf. Pick it up. It's a ton of fun. They change the writers and artists every issue. It's great.
So anybody who liked, say, Silver Coin or something along those lines, this is very similar.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
At least in concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's all we have time for today. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, or follow us on, man, I was so good. I was so close. Follow us on social media at PulpCG on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Do we have a Twitter still?
Yeah, we have a Twitter. It's
sure.
just we're not investing a whole lot into it because obviously that platform's just going to implode.
And make sure you come in today and pick up your comics. This is my last Wednesday at the store. So, yeah. But, yeah, stop in, pick up your comics. Tell us what you're excited for. Tell Patrick and Sarah and Fritz why Darwin is the best X-Men, is the best of the X-Men, so that they'll finally believe me.
I never said you were wrong.
I mean, now's your opportunity. You can just tell him he's wrong.
I'm never wrong. Sometimes I'm mistaken.
All
You can
right.
fix mistakes, though. You can't fix being
Yeah,
wrong.
all right.
I thought you were going to say you can't fix me.
All right, everybody. We'll see you at 11. Have a nice day.